Deer everywhere. Do you wonder why there's so many deer around? Let's take a look at the deer season, the deer rut, and also deer hunting to see how it affects all of that. Welcome to Serenity Bell Outdoors. In today's animal news, we're going to look at the deer population in the U.S. and how it has exploded over time. Deer overpopulation is largely the result of long-term changes in ecosystems, most of all which stem from our human activity. One of the biggest causes is the dramatic reduction of natural predators. So when there's no one after you, you get to multiply. Historically, the population of deer was kept in check by wolves, mountain lions, and other large carnivores, which were their natural predators. Most of these predators were eliminated across the U.S. to protect livestock and growing settlements, so deer populations lost their primary natural check. And with fewer predators, deer were able to survive in greater numbers and expand into new areas, and that's why we have them in our neighborhoods. These neighborhoods provide the perfect habitat for the deer because they're right on the edge of the woody areas, so it's easy to escape prey, and it's also fast food. Lots of open areas where they can browse on crops, our plants, our vegetation, and we've unintentionally created a patchwork of the perfect feeding grounds for them. This results in a lot more human interaction with deer and can sometimes get a little tricky or dangerous during the deer rut season, often called the rut. And that's the annual breeding period when the whitetail bucks become highly active. They're really territorial and they spend most of their time looking for does. This period is driven by changes in the daylight length during autumn, which trigger hormonal shifts in both the bucks and the does. You will see a lot of behavior which is outside of the norm, such as scraping, rubbing, and increased movement throughout the day. And for wildlife enthusiasts or also deer hunters, this is a special time of year where you can kind of keep that nature balance in check. Sometimes there is controversy around that. However, deer season does play a vital role in wildlife management, conservation, and also our ecological balance. In many states, regulating hunting seasons is designed to help deer populations stay at a healthy, sustainable level. And it actually helps out on public safety because with the overpopulation of deer in a city, it leads to more vehicle collisions, and that's particular in the rural and the suburban areas. So by keeping the herd size in check, states can reduce the frequency of these accidents. Sometimes you might actually catch sight of a 10-point deer. That's significant mainly because what its antlers represent in terms of age. It could also mean good nutrition, strong genetics, and maturity. That also comes into play during the rut, where bucks begin to show their dominance when staking out their territory. They make rubs by stripping the barks off of small trees so you can track them that way. They do that to leave scent markers, and this also becomes communication hubs where they can scent and monitor the activity of does. During this time, bucks often become less cautious and more visible. For the hunters that survive off of the deer meat, especially during the winter season, they describe the texture as typically lean and firm. And since the deer are very active animals, it has little fat included. While we have these measures in place to prevent the overpopulation of deer, they do continue to grow at an alarming rate, and limitations on hunting access in some suburban and urban regions have allowed the numbers to rise unchecked. Our human development has unintentionally created a patchwork of perfect feeding grounds, allowing deer populations to grow far beyond what would naturally occur in the wilderness. So we do have to try to make sure we maintain our balances. And on top of that, the mild winters in many regions, with the exception of this year, has caused high reproductive rates. So many does are having twins and triplets, which leads to the continuing overpopulation of deer. Well, that is all for today with our animal news. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you'd like me to report on next. And please like, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed this video. And you can also let me know if there's anything else that you'd like to add. In the meantime, have a wonderful day. I appreciate your support. Thank you.